From large wild cats getting along with dogs to gorillas who've adopted kittens, here are the most unusual animal friendships you won't believe. But first, thanks Zen Master for letting us know which part you thought was the creepiest in our recent Halloween upload. This video isn't quite as spooky, but be sure to check out our vintage Halloween episode if you haven't already. Number 18. Rhesus macaque monkey and his puppy. This monkey in southern India has adopted himself a homeless puppy and decided to become friends with it. The Rhesus macaque monkey has taken the abandoned dog under its wing, and now they cannot be separated. They have been seen all over the city by locals with each other, often with the monkey carrying the puppy in his arms. He's been seen feeding the puppy with grapes and milk and will even defend his puppy against other dogs. Since monkeys are closely related to humans, maybe they feel as though they need pets sometimes as well. Number 17. Owlette Adopted by Dog. Torque is a hunting dog who would have traditionally hunted down a bird like Shrek. Surprisingly, the dog has become good friends with the baby owl. Who would have thought? Shrek was taken from the Ringwood Raptor and Reptile Center in the UK and introduced to what would become her new friend and female mother, Torque the dog. Now the two play together and will even watch TV as they relax and get cozy next to each other. Don't you wish you could have a pet owl like this? Number 16. Ellie the dog and her rabbits. Ellie is a 4-year-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel who is not just the pet dog to her humans, but also has pets of her own. When Ellie's person discovered a nest of baby bunnies in her garden in Sussex, she noticed that her mother was dead nearby. She brought the bunnies into her home, and Ellie immediately took them underneath her paw. This breed of dog has traditionally been bred for hunting, so it's quite unusual for her to be so fond of these rabbits. Number 15. Mabel the chicken and puppies. What would cause a seemingly normal chicken to want to care for small puppies like we see in this photo? It turns out that Mabel lost her chicks in an unfortunate accident and probably felt as though she needed to take care of something. Mabel cares for these dogs now as if they're her own, and somehow the puppies will hatch or something. Sometimes mysteries of the animal kingdom will just remain unsolved. Number 14. Lion and Milo. Cats and dogs seem like arch enemies, and they don't normally seem to associate with one another. But that's certainly not the case with Milo the weenie dog and the king of the jungle, Bone Digger the lion. Bone Digger seemed to be suffering from some type of illness that left him disabled in his later years. Surprisingly, the zookeeper thought it would be a good idea to let the two become acquainted, and he couldn't have been any more right. The two have become the best of buddies, and they might even get caught kissing like we see in this photo. Number 13. Oxpecker and the Hippopotamus. These two animals coexist in perfect harmony. The hippopotamus often attracts unwanted attention to parasites and other bugs. The hippos almost have no way of getting these bugs off. But with the help of the semi-parasitic bird, they protect the hippo and eat the pesky bugs that are crawling on them. The two could theoretically live without each other, but in terms of food and protection, it's much better when they coexist. These amazing animal species are often photographed together, and that's just what amazing friends do. Number 12. Jack Russell and the wild boar. So already, we've got chicken dogs, lion dogs, and now we got some wild boars and dogs. That's right, this Jack Russell Terrier befriended this adorable wild boar in Germany when he noticed how hungry it seemed. The wild boar was abandoned by its mother shortly after birth, and it was taken to an animal sanctuary. The two hit it off immediately, and they seem to have quite a bit in common. The boar is too young to be any kind of danger to the dog at this point, but you might begin to wonder how it will play off when it gets older. This seems to prove that dogs aren't just man's best friend, but widely sociable among other animals. Number 11. Cassie and Mitanni. These two animal friends were raised at Busch Gardens, Tampa, in the United States, and it's been quite interesting for zookeepers to see a dog and a cheetah getting along so well. First of all, cheetahs are felines, so they should really not be getting along with dogs. These animals are breaking all kinds of boundaries, not playing with their own species. The two were introduced to each other when Cassie was a little kitten, and this dog would treat him like it was its own pup. However, as Cassie began to mature and entered into adolescence, he did what most guys do at that age and started spending more time chasing other cats his own age. Cassie the Labrador spends more time with the other cheetahs that are growing up. Cassie and the cheetah are occasionally seen together, but not quite as often. They both make appearances to school from time to time, but are mostly doing their own thing. Number 10. Anjana the chimp and her cubs. If you aren't already slightly overwhelmed by cuteness after taking a look at this photo, it's very possible that you have no heart or soul at all. Not only are white tiger cubs adorable, they seem to be quite friendly to this chimp, who's acting like its mother in a way. During a hurricane, the cubs were separated from their true mother, but they seem like they're certainly in the right hands. Anjana has learned to get along with tigers since a young age and has helped raise 4 of them. Luckily, the tiger isn't old enough to start biting, because putting one of those that close to your face does seem a little bit dangerous. As they no longer have a mother, they rely on the tender loving from a chimp. Number 9. Bubbles the elephant and Bella the dog. The sheer size difference isn't enough to keep these two animals from being friends. That's right, Bella is a black Labrador and Bubbles is an African elephant, and these two get along like 2 peas in a pod. Bubbles had to be relocated to an animal shelter to prevent her from being hunted for her ivory. Both of her parents were killed by poachers, and they were relocated to Myrtle Beach to live in peace. When she arrived, she only weighed about 340 pounds, but is now in the ballpark of more like 4 tons. They often play together, and sometimes Bubble will even throw the ball for Bella. Shere Khan, Baloo, and Leo. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my! They were actually rescued from a drug dealer that was treating them badly and keeping them as pets. Baloo the bear needed surgery to remove the harness that had actually grown into his skin, causing growth abnormalities. The exotic animals are now under close supervision at the Noah's Ark Animal Sanctuary in the US. To this day, they are still great friends and are truly happy at their new home. Number 7. Wild fox and Norwegian dog. Can domesticated and wild dogs both live in harmony? It seems to be the case for Tinni the dog and Sniffer the wild fox. The two managed to become best friends despite the differences in breeding, and they are often spotted playing together in the woods. The photographer that lived in the nearby forest absolutely adored the photos he was able to capture of his dog and the fox. The photos were so well taken that this helped bring up the morality of hunting foxes for their fur. He also ensures that they're not fighting and they're just having fun. Number 6. Surya and Roscoe. Surya is the orangutan and Roscoe is the blue tick hound. You wouldn't really expect to see these two animals playing together, let alone being in the same place at the same time. These two live together at the endangered animal shelter. In case you were wondering, the dog isn't endangered or anything, but the orangutans often need to be saved as their environment gets destroyed to make palm oil. Roscoe the dog has been a part of the orangutan's life for quite some time now, and they're often spotted swimming together. Number 5. Doberman Dolphin. There weren't a ton of details on this image of a Doberman pinscher and this dolphin, but it seems to prove that dogs can be friends with just about any animal out there. Dolphins are smart creatures, and so are dogs, so it seemed to make sense for the two to get together occasionally for some fun. Learning to swim is never easy, but maybe this dolphin can teach this old dog some new tricks. Number 4. Dog and monitor lizard. Normally, you wouldn't want your dog to get this close to a monitor lizard. These are some of the fiercest predators in the animal kingdom, and normally they can't be trained to be less aggressive. That's why it is a little bit bizarre to see one cuddling so close to someone's pet dog. Some seem to think that the lizard was just pretending to be nice as a part of his plot to eat the dog. But hey, maybe in rare cases, two species were just getting along without a quarrel. Number 3. Koala and Canine. This koala bear doesn't need to climb onto a tree when it's got help from a pooch to carry it around. The koala looks to be a little bit tired and is finding a temporary resting place. Don't you wish you could have a cuddly koala hanging on your back? Number 2. Coco and a kitten. Coco the gorilla was a very intelligent animal who was able to understand about 2,000 words of sign language while being held at the San Francisco Zoo. She was quite good at communicating with humans, but that wasn't the only species of animal she was close with. After getting tired of playing with stuffed animals, Coco befriended a little kitten which she began to take care of. It's possible that it's not just humans who are under the spell of cats. On one fateful day, the little kitten escaped from its enclosure and was unfortunately struck by a speeding vehicle. When Coco learned what happened, she signed bad, sad, bad, frown, cry frown, sad. Number 1. Tigers and bunnies. Does this not seem like the perfect symbol of peace and harmony? Bunnies and tigers coming to play together on a sunny day? They appear to be controlling their animal instincts and are just getting along together, trying to get to know each other. Maybe if this tiger was just a little bit older, he might consider eating this cute furball. It almost seems like too much cuteness in one photo.